The Book of Secret Hindu, Ceremonial, and Talismanic Magic. Book 2. Secret Instruction for the Exclusive Use of True and Faithful Chelas, Disciples, in Hindu Magic, Indian Occultism, Celestial and Natural Magic, Kabbalistical Magic, Secret Hindu Magic, Magic Pentacles, the manner of constructing them, Alchemical Magic, the conclusion of Hindu and Talismanic Magic, in which is fully given the key for the practice and composition of Hindu amulets, charms, seals requisite for the perfection of all talismanic, ceremonial, Hindu and celestial magic, invocation and binding of astral spirits, exorcisms, enchantments, benedictions, conjurations, clairvoyancy, and Hindu mediumship, etc., etc. And that three-headed bit that I told you about with this around the snake, you know, one face forward, one face to each side, but kind of connected, so there's only one back of the head. The same being a most full and complete system of occult philosophy, natural, celestial, and ceremonial magic, conjurations of spirits, and so on. Arranged for publication in its present form and under the above title by L.W. de Laurence, noted adept, author, and publisher, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Now, I don't know outside this book and his own company Preface to Book 2. The materialist sees but half the causes of his deeds: diseases, health, failure, or success, seeing them wholly in the outer world. Ignorant of the spiritual forces, which, though unseen, is felt, and sows in him the seeds of distress, of a good or an evil desire. Treasures that have long been buried and hidden away from the sight of those that were neither able to realize nor appreciate their value are here, brought to light, pearls of ancient wisdom brought from the East. Fountains of knowledge that have been for centuries closed up are again opened, and a flood of light is thrown over things that appeared impossible, mysterious, and occult. As you dive into the ancient mysteries, a new world opens before you. The more you begin to understand the language of the adepts, the more grows your conception of man. The anatomy, physiology, and psychology which they teach make a man something immeasurably greater than the puny and impotent being known to modern science as a compound of bones, muscles, and nerves. Modern science, materialism, attempts to prove that man is an animal. Well, we're more than an animal, but humans are a type of animal. The teachings of the adepts show that he may be a god. Well, then God loses a lot of its meaning, right, as a word. Modern science invests him with the power to lift his own weight. Ancient science invests him with the power to invest him with the power to control the destiny of the world through occult philosophy. Modern science allows him to live for a very limited number of years. Ancient science teaches that he always existed and will never cease to exist if he desires to live, as a spiritual being and not just an incarnate thing. Modern science deals with the instrument that the real man uses as often as he comes into a relationship with the world of phenomena, and she mistakes the instrument for the man. The adepts show you the true nature of the essential man, to whom one earthly existence is nothing more than one of the many incidents of his eternal career. This power of spiritual perception, potentially contained in every man, but developed in few, is almost unknown to the guardians of science in our Western countries of modern civilization, because learning is often separated from wisdom, and the calculating intellect, seeking for worms in the dark caverns of the earth, cannot see the genius that floats towards the light, and it can't realize his existence. And yet this ancient science, occultism, which the moderns ignore, is as old as the world. It was known to the ancient prophets, to the arhats, the rishis of the East, to initiated Brahmins, Egyptians, Greeks. Its fundamental doctrines are found in the Hindu Vedas as well as in the Holy Bible. Upon these doctrines rests the fundamentals of the religions of the world. They form the essence of the secrets that were revealed only to the initiated in the inner temple, where the ancient mysteries were taught, and whose disclosure to the vulgar was forbidden under the penalty of torture and death, which was going too far. Remember all that stuff in the Vedic literature about pouring molten metal into the ears of the poor and all that stuff, because only the one group was allowed to have full access to the scriptures, and they were secrets known to the ancient sages and to the adepts and Rosicrucians of the Middle Ages, and upon a partial understanding of their truths rest in the system of modern Freemasonry. Are perhaps its hints at these types of sciences and whatever your beliefs and stuff, kind of, so you can approach these symbolic structures without having to get into a specific system of them, right? Now, that's not articulated too well, but they are not to be confounded with speculative philosophy that reasons from the known to that which it cannot know, trying by the flickering light of logic to grope its way into the darkness and to feel the objects which it cannot see. These doctrines were taught by the children of light who possessed the spiritual power to see. Such men were the great religious reformers of all ages, from Confucius and Zoroaster down to Jacob Boehm and Eckartshausen, and their teachings have been verified by everyone whose purity of mind and whose power of intellect have enabled him to see and to understand the things of the Spirit. Particularly God, but God's in the parentheses here. So the Spirit. Some of their doctrines refer to morals and ethics. Others are of a purely scientific character. But both aspects of their teachings are intimately connected together, because beauty cannot be separated from truth. They both form the 2 pages of a leaf in the Book of Universal Nature, whose understanding confers upon the reader not merely opinions but knowledge, and renders him not only learned but illuminated with wisdom. The moral aspect of magic. Among those who have taught the moral aspect of the secret doctrine, there are none greater than the Buddha, Plato, and Jesus of Nazareth. Of those who have taught its scientific aspect, there have been none more profound than Hermes, Trismegistus, Pythagoras, and Paracelsus. They obtained their knowledge not merely from following the prescribed methods of learning, or by accepting the opinions of the recognized authorities of their times, but they studied nature by their own light, and they became lights themselves, whose rays illuminate the world of mind. What they taught has been to a certain extent verified and amplified by the teachings of Eastern adepts and hierophants of the Orient. Now, if you look at this, Terrapine, C. Carolina. I'm trying to think if this may be the one that I decided to call Ylimmw. I'll check it against the other. If you see one of these things, don't touch them because, you know, they are on the Endangered Species Act and they're recognized around the world, not just in the handful of states where they reside.